Stay put, people, because this scandal will be more intense than any reality TV show has ever seen. Surpasses the drama, betrayal, and backstabbing you initially believed it to be. The stunning justification for Kirk Frost and Mandisa Harris' exclusion from reality TV, two of the greatest hip-hop and romantic icons, will astound you. Why would these be on the decline? Did a silly controversy or mistake kill their careers? Or is there something more sinister and explosive than what we've been told? The material that is leaking from the sources is almost too hot to handle. It was a surprising turn of events that no one saw coming. Imagine that after years of being at the core of love and hip-hop's most memorable episodes, from family feuds to cheating allegations, Kirk and Mendes have become the biggest misfits in reality TV history. But why would a show that relied so heavily on their drama abruptly cut them? I beg your patience. This is a more serious and scandalous quarrel than you can fathom. You will have a different perspective on Kirk and Mendes after reading this, I promise. You believed they were unbeatable and would tolerate any scandal, but you were mistaken. A major figure in love and hip-hop Atlanta from its inception is Kirk Frost, the once adored and cherished bad boy who is now a family man. He has been involved in a lot of scandals, such as affairs, adultery claims, and even a story involving a baby mom that made headlines. However, Kirk consistently attracted admirers and regained his prominence despite the negative circumstances. It will soon come tumbling down in their faces since these two are suddenly dealing with the worst prices of their careers. For years, the names of these two were associated with drama. They were the hip-hop power couple that everyone hated but respected. It all started with backstage murmurs, according to show insiders, but then things took a significant turn. Mandisa Harris is another individual who was able to portray his incarceration as a career launching pad. He'd established himself as a heartthrob by enthralling viewers with a tale of redemption that transcended love and hip-hop. Mendes's and Kirk's long-term relationship had finally reached a breaking point. Unprepared for the explosion that followed, the producers, who were constantly searching for drama to add interest to the show, noticed the tension and saw an opportunity. It wasn't only behind closed doors. Kirk and Mendes' disagreement turned into a full-fledged fight that would have shocking results. This resulted in a love and hip-hop after-party that was only intended to last a few minutes prior to the actual reunion performance. Many people said Kirk and Mendes did not get along. Mendes reportedly stated in private that Kirk was a disgraced husband who was only still relevant because of Rasheeda's fame. Kirk was unhappy because he had worked hard to build his legacy, and no one like Mendes was going to ruin it. It resembled a time bomb that was just waiting to go off. Reports state that a few expletives started the confrontation, but as the tension rose, the violence escalated. Kirk, the proud veteran of the love and hip-hop franchise, was being assaulted to keep current. He was accused of contributing nothing new to the show and even of attempting to incite rivalries. Someone like Kirk, who had been vocal about how his previous issues were hindering the program, would have been insulted beyond recognition by this. "I'm holding the show back," was said by a recently released prisoner who was hardly in the spotlight until Yan Dandy arrived to pick him up, but he couldn't give up. What did Kirk do after he seemed to lose it with his fellow cast members? He and Mendes were alone behind the scenes. The initial encounter between them backstage swiftly escalated into an unthinkably violent confrontation. "Why don't you fix what's broken?" With every word, his conceit was evident as he boasted that he had made fun of Kirk. This was the final straw, according to Kirk, and the dispute swiftly descended into violence in front of the actors, crew, and producers. Because of Kirk's violent nature, Mendes was pushed so forcefully that he stumbled back into a chair. Then the blows were delivered. There was glass all over the place, chairs were falling over, and security came running in to attempt to break up the fight, but it was too late. It began as a low-key after-party, but ended up being the year's largest event, both professionally and physically, and of course, someone had brought their phone. Clips of the brawl went viral on social media quickly after it began, shocking fans who had never seen anything like this from love and hip-hop. As everyone else watched, fans quickly took sides, with some defending Kirk by saying that Mandis had no right to disparage a pioneer of love and hip-hop, while others backed Kirk and accused him of being the aggressor. However, it was clear that none were prepared for the repercussions that would follow, and Kirk might be subject to legal action if that's the case. And if Rasheeda freezes their shared assets, Kirk might have nothing left. Since Rasheeda hasn't filed for divorce yet, Kirk is probably already making an effort to negotiate behind the scenes. But is it too late? Has Kirk finally gone too far for Rasheeda to overlook? This is far from the end of the story, so you should remain riveted to your seat. I promise that this will have more of an impact than Kirk's previous apology tour. Kirk Frost's situation got from bad to completely terrible after that terrible incident at the event. And let me tell you, the repercussions of this issue are spreading swiftly because Rasheeda is no longer playing games. We're just getting started. Since supporters began hauling Kirk everywhere after the video of Kirk confronting Rasheeda went viral online, let me continue where we left off. But the important question was whether Kirk made an effort to correct the situation after the camera stopped recording. Has Rasheeda packed up and departed at last? Will Kirk and Rasheeda never be together again if this is the case? Okay, let's investigate. Rasheeda allegedly left the event with a calm but visibly upset look, and Kirk attempted to follow her. Witnesses claim to have seen Kirk chasing after her in the parking lot, yelling her name and trying to take her arm, but Rasheeda, oh sis, resisted. She'd apparently hopped into a black SUV and drove off without saying anything, leaving Kirk standing there looking foolish. The interesting part, however, is that Kirk allegedly did not make it home that evening. Kirk was spotted drinking excessively at the bar at Frost Bistro, the restaurant he and Rasheeda co-owned, according to people close to the pair. They tried to calm him down, but Kirk? Oh, he was high, they said. One insider claimed to have heard Kirk say, "She's overreacting. I didn't even do anything that bad." Come on, Kirk. You were captured on camera pointing in Rasheeda's face, gripping her elbow as she tried to leave, and backing her into a corner. When Kirk allegedly started making calls that evening, of course, things got worse. Who is he phoning? The sidekick girl. Less than an hour after she was spotted arriving at Frost, officials say Kirk was observed texting and chatting with an unnamed lady. The mysterious Jasmine Washington. Yes, Jasmine, who also happened to be the woman Kirk had a child with in 2017, effectively turned Kirk and Rasheeda's marriage into a circus act. The flower Jasmine has returned. According to several witnesses, Jasmine went inside Frost Bistro, sat down next to Kirk at the bar, and they conversed for over an hour. According to one witness, Kirk was laughing as if he didn't care that Jasmine was touching his shoulder and talking in his ear. After seeing your wife at a public function, would you really be hanging out with your side gal for hours? Kirk gives the impression that he is unconcerned about the consequences. Do you know what happened next? Kirk and Jasmine were seen leaving Frost Bistro together as soon as the reporters had been warned to leave. Jasmine is seen smiling as if she had just won when Kirk puts his arm around her and leads her to his car. The images are awful. By the next morning, the images had been extensively shared, with the headline "Savage Kirk Frost was already moving on" appearing in TMZ, Hollywood Unlocked, and The Shade Room. After the alleged attack on Rasheeda, they were spotted with baby mama Jasmine, and Rasheeda, oh, you know, sis, saw those pictures. The fact that Rasheeda has allegedly been consulting with a renowned divorce attorney is what really complicates matters. Yes, a divorce. Anyone who is aware of the Frost financial situation would agree that Kirk and Rasheeda's empire are basically interwoven. They jointly own Press Boutique, Frost Bistro, and a number of real estate properties. Rasheeda appears to be finally ready to shoot, so Kirk should be afraid. Oh sis, it's co-owned, and Rasheeda has receipts. She allegedly secretly collected evidence of Kirk's financial misdeeds for years. We are discussing wire transfers to anonymous accounts, credit card transactions at high-end hotels, and payments to Jasmine and a few other unnamed women. Since Kirk's most recent incident has surfaced, Rasheeda seems to be in full damage management mode. By sending her urgent texts and sometimes unexpectedly showing up at her workplace, he has been begging her to talk. But Rasheeda, she isn't answering. Excluded Kirk from using WhatsApp, Instagram, Twitter, or any other social networking site. What do you know? Kirk is frantic. Jasmine is speaking now. According to Jasmine, Kirk vowed to provide for her financially, and he has been doing so by taking money out of his joint accounts with Rasheeda, according to a purported exclusive interview with a popular gossip website. They're about to blow up Kirk's entire situation, she replied. Rasheeda has been endearing on social media at this time, but Kirk saw things more broadly. She has been posting some mysterious Instagram tales, but she hasn't made any explicit remarks. He was concerned about his whole image, not just his romantic life and hip-hop career. One of them has a dark screen with the words, "When someone shows you who they are, believe them." He was determined not to allow even one error to destroy the empire he had built. Vanish. There's another thing coming. But as the days went by, it became more and more obvious that Kirk and Mendes' struggle would not be as easy as they had anticipated. The company reportedly resisted them, and there were even rumors that they were being shut out of reality TV altogether. He reportedly told a buddy, "I built my name, and I'm not going to let them erase me from reality TV history." According to multiple sources, their formerly prosperous careers in the region were now in danger of collapse. By this point, neither man's reputation had been sufficiently damaged by the battle. The harsh reality sank in. Kirk and Mendes may never be seen on reality TV again. Now it was all too real. The networks would rather not take the chance since their dominance was crumbling. This isn't just about a fight anymore. It's about trust. If Kirk and Mendes can't control their tempers, how can we trust them on another show? It's a liability. Then came the news that would alter everything. According to an individual with connections to multiple networks, the claims that they were banned were true. "We're not touching them. They're too much of a liability. They've made too many enemies. They're not touching them." After a few weeks, Kirk, Frost, and Mendes accepted the awful reality. Their drama and names had once been the lifeblood of a dying industry. Their influence was eroding. Their personal and professional lives were in jeopardy, and the blacklisting charges had been verified. Furthermore, we really don't need another PR catastrophe. What will happen to Kirk and Mendes next? Will they bounce back from this? When will they deploy their platform? Or is their reality TV career truly coming to an end? In the cutthroat world of reality TV, Kirk and Mendes were not going down without a fight. And this was only the start of a new chapter in their adventure, not its end. Kirk felt unhappy and abandoned, so he didn't spend much time attempting to save his career. Over the years, he had made a name for himself in hip-hop and love, so having it all taken away in an instant felt like a betrayal. Kirk wished to avoid being forgotten. "I'm not going out like this," Kirk reportedly told his closest pals. "I've made my mark on this industry, and I won't let some mistake erase everything I've worked for," he said. And what would he do next? Kirk Frost would undoubtedly be held responsible for his story. He called his attorney right away and insisted that they make a wrongful termination claim. Kirk reportedly stated, "This is about legacy, about respect. They used me for years, and now they want to erase me. Nina, that's not happening." Kirk reiterated, "I built the show," adding, "Without me, there's no show." Given the influence of the public and the media, Kirk was determined not to let this setback go unnoticed. Mendes was wrestling in the meantime. Like Kirk, Mendes, who never gave up, knew the industry and knew how to battle for what was properly his, so he started to fight back. However, Mendes took a different tack. Instead of going to court, he launched a social media campaign to demonstrate to his followers that he wasn't going down without a fight. Another was being shut out of the whole reality TV business. For someone who had established his reputation on television and in the public eye, being dismissed from the show was one thing, but being excluded from the entire profession was terrible. During an emotional Instagram live session, Mendes expressed his point of view. He went on, "I've been through a lot," his voice breaking. "I've witnessed him go through more than this, and Yandy was there to help him through every obstacle, of course." Yandy told their fans during a live session, "And we always come out on top. We'll make sure of it." But Mendes was still afraid. "I've been away from my family. I've fought battles no one even knows about. And now this happens. But I'm standing tall. I'm not going to let this defeat me. I won't let anyone disrespect me. Not on camera and not off camera." The weight of it all hit him one evening while he was sitting with Yandy. He didn't say anything. She assured him, "We're going to make it work," while he remarked, "I don't know if we'll bounce back from this." It was obvious that Yandy had already begun organizing their next move. Although she was aware that the path ahead would not be simple, she also recognized that they had an advantage that no network could take away: their following, their fan base, and their determination to succeed. "We've got our brand, we've got our fans, and we'll find another way." Yandy remained hopeful, but Mendes and Kirk had to accept that the entertainment industry had turned their backs on them. No network wanted to collaborate with them because of the fight, the drama, or the backlash from sponsors and fans. Their calls and emails were not returned, and they were essentially fired from the company. But just when they thought things couldn't get much worse, whispers started to spread. An increasing number of sources claimed that Kirk and Mendes were not simply placed on a blacklist. "We'll produce ounces," Mendes reportedly murmured to Yandy one night. "I suppose this is the end," saying, "I'm done. No more television." Yandy refused, knowing better than to concede defeat, and she firmly assured him, "This isn't the end. We are going to perform. If they don't want us on their platforms, we'll go somewhere else. For us, they are not essential. We have a fan base. We have a tale to share. We'll construct something bigger." On social media, one fan wrote, "Kirk and Mendes made love and hip-hop what it is today." Others were shocked by how quickly the industry had abandoned them, while still others credited Kirk and Mendes with their comeback. But others weren't so sympathetic. One user wrote, "They can't be shocked. You can't put your hands on someone and expect no consequences," adding fuel to the already burning fire. A heated argument had turned into a true PR disaster. The damage had already been done, and despite the industry's refusal to give them another chance and mounting pressure, Kirk and Mendes were planning their next move. And as Yandy said, the world hasn't seen the last of them. The two men were still fighting for their place in the spotlight as usual, and they both realized they would have to change who they were. The love and hip-hop phases of their lives seemed to be over, but they had no intention of letting the world forget who they were. Remember to like, subscribe, and enable notifications for more updates on this drama as it unfolds. And feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section below. Mendes and Kirk Frost, two of the most recognizable figures in reality TV, are currently on a blacklist and fighting for their place in the entertainment industry. Wondering if their careers in reality TV will end or if their new independent program will succeed. What comes next is something you won't want to miss, I promise. Which team, Kirk or Mendes, do you root for, or do you think they both went too far? To make sure you don't miss any breaking news, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and enable notifications if you want to be updated on every shocking turn in this drama that is yet to unfold. Trust me, there is more to come in this story. Do you think their punishment at the end of their careers was fair? Were they too aggressive? Will their fans be won back by their future independent endeavors? Or will reality TV's chapter be closed forever? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. We provide you with the most recent and incredible online. There are stories.